Hello guys, welcome back to a new video today. So today I'm going to be doing another tier list video. Haven't done one in a while, so figured I may as well do one. And today I'm going to be ranking the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series drivers. That's what this is going to be. Last year I did it and I got bombarded pretty hard for some of my opinions. I'm probably going to get bombarded even harder. So please guys, just respect my opinions and go from there. So I'm going to go through them all. I'm going to go through each driver here. It's also done a little bit differently. Like last year, they were done by driver numbers. This year, this tier list that I found is done by driver photos. So here's what I'm going to do here. And so we'll start here out with we'll start here with BJ Mccloud. BJ Mccloud, I'd give him a C, mostly just I like seeing another owner driver in the Cup Series again, but BJ's just not that great. I mean, so far this year in 3 races hasn't really done much special. Like he's been like towards the back of the field. I just personally feel he should just give the 78 at Live Fast to a younger driver. But at the same time, it's also nice to see another owner driver in the Cup Series again. Right, next is Josh Balicki here. Balicki, I was hoping he was gonna do. I was hoping he was gonna maybe be decent so far, but I mean he didn't run the Daytona 500. Castle was in the car. Uh, Balicki has about 26 races this year, and he's mostly just in the same place as Mccloud. Like he's just not really that great. Like and he's not, and it doesn't help that he's in bad equipment. All right. And here's the first F on my list. I'm going to get a lot of bash for this, but Alex Bowman is going to be in the F category. I hate Alex Bowman. Like, he's just... I mean, I know that people are going to tell me, stop crying about it. I just can't... I just do not like him winning, like, based on luck so much. And also, like, I mean, the guy is very nice. But, like, on the track, he's just not good at all. Alright, Eric Almarola, I'd say maybe about C tier as well. I mean, Almarola, I just feel he's mostly been, like, an okay driver at his tenure at Stewart-Haas. I mean, last year he was mostly terrible until he finally won at New Hampshire again. I was pretty happy to see him win again, but I just don't see him really winning again this year. Although I don't see him winning again this year, but it can happen. I don't know. All right, Austin Sindrek, B tier. I used to hate Sindrek. I used to hate Austin Sindrek a lot. But in recent years, I've just happened to gain a lot of respect for Sindrek. I mean, the Daytona 500 champion, like, he won the pole at Auto Club. Like, he's just got a lot of stuff in him. I feel like we all hated him a few years ago. Now we all really like him. Like, the 2020 Xfinity champion, I think has got a lot of stuff in for the rest of his career. Austin Dillon, I'd say C tier. I got close to putting him in the D tier, but I'll be a bit nice and put him in C tier. I mean, Dillon, I think Dillon almost won California. Like he was close to getting ahead of Larson. I mean, Dillon just hasn't really been that great in his tenure at Richard Childress, so maybe we'll see things turn around this year, but I don't know. Right, Brad Keselowski, B tier. Same with Austin. Well, excuse me. Same with Austin Trigg. I used to hate him. I used to hate Brad Keselowski, but I've just gained a ton of respect for Brad, like in the past few years, and I'm glad that he's putting his money into Roush Fenway Racing, now RFK Racing, and I hope that he and Chris Buescher can maybe go score some wins, which they kind of already did in the dual races, but those don't count. Bubba Wallace, I'd probably go with B tier. Bubba, I think Bubba has kind of disappointed a little bit this year. I mean, he did almost win the Daytona 500, but Auto Club, he just was not running well, and Vegas, he started kind of bad, started to work his way up, and unfortunately just caught up in bad luck. I think that Bubba can maybe be decent for the rest of the year, but I just happen to feel that Kurt Busch is probably going to outrun him. Chase Briscoe, probably B tier as well. He's been off to a hot start this year. Yeah, Chase Briscoe off to a pretty hot start this year. I'm just pretty excited for him to hopefully get that win this year. Like last year he was not good at all. Like Briscoe was my personal biggest disappointment in the Cup Series. I'll just say that right now. Like he was my biggest disappointment. I'm glad to see him off to a good start. All right, Chase Elliott F tier. And this will probably be my most hated opinion. Elliott just he's a dirty driver. Like I mean, yes, he has won a lot, and kudos to him. Congratulations on those wins that he's gotten. And I think that his 2020 Cup champion was deserving, although I feel Harvick was more deserving, of course. I just happen to feel that Elliott's like really been like be going wild on the track. Like there's a lot of beliefs that he may have spun out on purpose at Auto Club, which I personally think he did. There's a feud between him and one of his own teammates, Larson, and the whole Kevin Harvick incident, which he really screwed he really screwed Harvick out of getting what would have been his only win. Like that was just a really dirty move by him. Chris Buescher, I'd say probably B tier. Kind of got close to C tier. Actually, no, C tier. Yeah, I changed my mind. I'll go with C tier. Buescher he's mostly been like mid-pack most of the time, and that's mostly just why I haven't really put him higher. The last time I really remember him doing very well was at Homestead last year, where he managed to work his way up to the front and win like stage 1, and he might have won stage 2 as well. I can't remember, but hopefully Chris Buescher can continue to perform like I mentioned with Brad. All right, Christopher Bell, I'd go with B tier. Bell has been off to a decent start this year, and last year he was pretty good too, so hopefully he can improve for the rest of the year, and that's that. Alright, Cody Ware, D tier. And this may raise some eyebrows, but I do not like Cody Ware. Like, Cody Ware, my main issue with Cody Ware is just that he just shouldn't be in the Cup Series, honestly. Like, I know why he's there, because of his father owning the team, but, like, Cody I was hoping he was going to maybe improve. He kind of has improved a little bit, but he's still running too far in the back. And also, like, last year, I really gained a lot of, like, I really did not like him at all last year, just because of dumb moves he kept pulling it. Especially Martinsville, when he intentionally wrecked James Davison, like, 5 times. And yet NASCAR refused to park him. And then there was also Phoenix, when he clearly intentionally dumped Anthony Alfredo. Alright, moving on. Colt Custer, C tier. Custer really disappointed me last year. And so far this year, he's not really been that great either. Hopefully he can improve off it. Corey LaJoie, I would go with maybe C tier as well. I just feel that LaJoie just hasn't really been that great. And, I mean, this year, not really that great, but last year I was pretty impressed with him. He almost won, like, a race at Daytona, the Coke 400. He almost won that race, and, last year he had some pretty good runs in that Spire car, but, at the same time, like, I think it's just very clear that Spire Motorsports is pumping all the money to LaJoie's 7, because that 7 car is still a lot more faster than the 77. Alright, first SC tier driver, Daniel Suarez. Daniel's just been one of my favorites ever since, like, he got into NASCAR. Like, me and my father were going nuts when he won the Xfinity title in 2016. I mean, I still wish Eric Jones won that, but I was just really happy to see Suarez do that. Suarez, I really hope you can get that first win. I mean, I would really wish you won Bristol Dirt last year, but you never know. Maybe you can do it this year. Denny Hamlin, S tier. This is obvious. Hamlin's been my favorite since 2012, so I don't have to explain more about that. Eric Jones, also S tier. Jones he's probably going to be the guy I root for after Denny retires. Just saying. And, I mean, last year Jones wasn't that great, but this year he's been off to a hot start. He led a lot of laps at the beginning of Auto Club. Harrison Burton, A tier. Harrison, I mean, may not be one of the best drivers. Like, I personally feel that Michael McDowell should have gotten the 21. But Burton, Burton, like, is just one of the nicest guys you'll meet in the garage area. Also, gotta love the Kim Cam whenever he's on track. All right, Joey Logano, I'd say maybe I'd have to make an argument for maybe I could make an argument for B tier, but I'm gonna go with C tier. I used to hate Logano. He used to be my least favorite driver. Like, I really hated Logano a few years ago. But now, I mean, I just don't really hate him as much as I used to. Like, I kind of like him a bit more. Like, I don't know why, honestly. I mean, sometimes it can get annoying when he wins, but I mean, it's not as annoying as it used to be. All right, Justin Haley, I'd say C tier. Haley, I hope can perform well this year. He's technically not a rookie, but also is kind of a rookie. I mean, he's not running for Rookie of the Year. Hopefully, I mean, I think that him running full time this year for Colleague will be a test to him, and I wonder how well he'll do for the rest of the season. Kevin Harvick, almost put him in S tier, but I'm gonna go with A tier. Harvick became one of my favorites just after Bristol because I felt so bad for him. So, like, that's just why I'm putting him in A tier. And honestly, the Charlotte Roval stuff did not deserve to happen to him. I'll just put that there. Kurt Busch, A tier. Like, Kurt is just a guy that I think everyone is okay with rooting for, and that's totally fine with me, I'd say. Like, Kurt, I think, Kurt driving for 2311, I think, really is going to help them maybe get some more wins this year. Like, I hope that I mean, I think that both Kurt and Bubba can realistically win a race or two this year, and I think Kurt joining that team is really going to help. Hope he sticks around for more than just like 2 years as his contract says, cuz I think Kurt can bring a lot of like wins and maybe mentor Bubba a bit more. So, we'll see what happens there. Kyle Busch, B tier. I got a lot of hate for saying I didn't like Kyle Busch in last year's video, but I'd say Kyle has just become more respected by me, and I mean Kyle is just funny to watch on the track. I still kind of wish he won Vegas, but it is what it is. I've heard, I mean, I think that he can maybe have a chance this coming weekend at Phoenix, but we'll see. Kyle Larson, I'm gonna have to go with C tier. Larson I got close to putting him in D tier, but I just feel I'm going to have to go with C tier here just because I'm just not really a fan of him, but I could say he's probably maybe middle, like half C tier, half D tier. Like, I sometimes get tired of him winning, but that at the same time, that's me essentially just saying I hate seeing Ty Gibbs win, which Ty Gibbs, I'll tell you right now, he's got a good chance to be NASCAR's next 7-time champion. Larson, it can get a bit tiring seeing him win races that are just very good, and whenever we kind of want like a new winner. But I mean, he's just very talented. Definitely was the most deserving of the championship last year, and yeah. Martin Truex Jr. S tier. Truex, I mean, Truex has just been one of my favorites ever since his breakout season in 2015 at Furniture Row Racing, when he won for single car owner Barney Visser at Pocono. Like, that was one of my favorite. That one was probably one of my favorite Cup wins of all time. Like, Truex, and then Truex has been, like, I was really happy to see him win the Cup title in 2017, and I usually get pretty excited to see Truex win, mostly just because I have family that likes Truex, and I also have a close friend that likes Truex. All right, Michael McDowell, B tier. Last year was McDowell's breakthrough season. Outside of winning the Daytona 500, he had a lot of other really good races. Like, did pretty well the following weekend at the Daytona Road Course, and he got another top 10 at Homestead, and he had some pretty great runs throughout the rest of the season, especially on more of the road races. And honestly, I can see McDowell maybe winning again, like this year on like a road course. considering that these next-gen cars are built pretty well for the road courses. Alright, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., D tier. I think I put him in bottom tier last year. I just feel that he's just a wrecking ball. And I kind of wish Priest still got the 47, but, I mean, Priest may be looking at a better opportunity, it looks like. So, I mean, keeping Stenhouse, Stenhouse has kind of started off pretty well this year. But we'll see what happens for the rest of the year. Alright, Ross Chastain, I gotta go with S tier. Chastain, I really wish he won Vegas. Like, he was the most dominant car. Unfortunately, Darian Gilliam jinxed him on Twitter, like he seems to always do, unfortunately. But, I mean, Chastain, he also got pretty close at Darlington last year, but I still think that he's got a good chance to deliver Trackhouse's first Cup win, along with Suarez. Like, both of them have really good chances. Ryan Blaney, A tier. Blaney is one that I can tend to root for a lot. Like, Ryan Blaney, very nice guy in the garage area as well. Like, I just think that it has to do with him a lot. Like, that just has to do with him a lot. And Blaney, I think, can maybe be a title contender this year. He had a pretty good hot streak last year, right before the playoffs started. Todd Gillan, C tier. Todd Gillan, I mean, my personal view with him is that he was rushed. I personally feel that Anthony Alfredo should have been given a second year at front row, or maybe Kaz Gralla should have been given the 38. But I don't know. Like, Gillan, he hasn't really been that great this year. I mean, he's kind of had similar results already to Alfredo, who had a really bad rookie season. But, I mean, Gillan, I wonder how he'll do. Like, I mean, he'll probably be in that 38 car for at least maybe a few more years, considering that I can honestly see David Gillan, his father, maybe buying front row, considering that Bob Jenkins has reportedly wanted out of NASCAR. Alright, Ty Dillon, I would say C tier. Ty is a very nice guy in the garage, and I think it's nice to see him get another chance at Cup at Petty GMS in the 42, which really glad that the King and Maurice Gallagher were able to bring the 42 Lee Petty car back to the track again with Ty. But this year, like, Ty, this year could easily be a test for Ty to see how well he does in better equipment, considering that Eric Jones is in. Considering that we also have Eric Jones, like, as his teammate now, and Jones has been better this year. Ty Dillon, though, he has not been running very well at all. He has not really been running that well, but I don't know. Maybe as the season progresses, maybe he'll get better, but I just don't know for sure. Tyler Reddick, S tier. Reddick, really wish he didn't have that tire go down at Auto Club. Like, Reddick is gonna become one of the more winningest drivers, like, I can see in the next few years. Like, Reddick led more laps at Auto Club than he's ever led in his career, so that's definitely a sign he's going to get that first win this year, and I hope he does. Reddick is really talented. Very nice guy in the garage area as well, and yeah. William Byron, I'd say B tier. Byron is probably probably the only guy at Hendrick that I like, personally. Like, Byron, sometimes he gets caught in some things, but most of the time he drives mostly good on track, I feel. Like, so that's mostly how I feel about William Byron. Daniel Hemrick, I'd say maybe a mix of A and B tier, but I feel that I'm leaning towards giving him A tier just because I just felt that Hemrick was a lost cause in NASCAR, like, if he did not win at all for Gibbs last year. I know Hemrick's only going to be part-time, but I really hope I really wish that Hemrick can maybe win again this year for Kaulig, maybe win 2 races. I mean, I was at Martinsville last year, and I was so upset when Justin Haley spun out and brought out the caution. Like, I really wanted Hemrick to finally win. I was hoping it was going to happen, and it just didn't happen. And this year, I think maybe he'd have a chance to maybe go for 2 wins. I don't know. Hemrick, like, after just seeing him do the backflip again after winning the Xfinity title, like, that just won me over him, I think, even more. Just because I'm just so glad we finally see another driver doing the backflip again. Like, I just miss Carl Edwards so much that I just love to see the backflip back. Landon Castle, A tier. Castle, I think, is one of the biggest cases, I think, of zero to hero in the Cup Series. He ran for so many years for these backmarker teams like James Finch's Phoenix Racing, BK Racing, which is now, BK Racing. Who else did he run for? He ran for Front Row Motorsports, Hillman Racing, couple of other backmarker teams. Also Starcom. Castle just has a lot of stuff in him, but not until this year he's been given a good ride. Last time he had a good ride was when he was a development driver for Hendrick Motorsports. And Castle, I mean, he is driving for Spire and Cup, but I am so glad that he was able to get that 10 car at Colleague. Like, I mean, it sucks that he has a crypto sponsor with him, but regardless, I was so happy to see Landon Castle get a big ride and for once. Like, he's been deserving it for so long, and hopefully he can finally win in Xfinity. And I really hope he does. I mean, I hope that all three Colleague guys win. Noah Gragson, F. I gotta give him an F tier, just because he's just pretty, and Gragson is just pretty annoying on the track. Like, he just always starts feuds with other drivers, and he's just not been nice to other drivers in general. Like, and I just don't like his personality, to be honest. I mean, he does know how to party. He does know how to party for sure, but outside of that, like, he's just done some dumb stuff on the track, like, including when he's also gotten into a lot of fights, he also got into a lot of fights in Xfinity. Like, I remember when he got into the fight with Harrison Burton, then he got into a fight with Hemrick. Like, it's just why I don't really like him. I mean, I love Mark Beard's team. Excuse me, I really love that he was able to get Mark Beard's 62 in honor of him into the Daytona 500, because Mark, I mean, mostly just because Brendan Gaughan. I mean, I don't like Gragson, but I love Beard Motorsports and Brendan Gaughan. Like, I'm just glad they were able to make it this year with their only car. And I could move him up to D tier, but just because I don't like Gragson, I'm going to keep an F tier. Alright, Greg Biffle, S tier. This was the biggest surprise in silly season, by far. Greg Biffle. I did not see him coming back to Cup in any way. Like, I thought that all the rumors of him going to NY Racing Team were fake. I thought that if NY Racing Team was going to get to Cup, they were going to have JJ Yaley with him, just because the owner of NY Racing Team always seems to bring Yaley along with him. But Greg Biffle, I was just so happy, and I was celebrating like nuts when Biffle raced his way into the Daytona 500. I mean, Biffle, one of my favorite guys, like, on the track in general. Like, and that's just why I just really love Biffle a lot. Okay, David Reagan, B tier. I mean, Reagan I could have put in C tier. Like, I was probably about 50-50, but at the last minute just decided that Reagan fits better in the B tier. But David Reagan, like, another guy that I feel, another, like, veteran driver that's nice to root for whenever he returns. Like, I mean, it was nice to see Reagan back in Cup again this year. He'll be running more than just the Daytona 500 this year. Like, he's going to run, I believe, both Atlanta races, the August Daytona race, and I think one or two more. He might be running Talladega as well, but I can't remember. But yeah, Reagan, I think, can have a good chance to succeed, and I hope he does, especially at some of these tracks, but we'll just see what happens. Think he said he was going to run Bristol Dirt too. I could easily be wrong. Garrett Smithley, C tier. I mean, Smithley, very nice guy, just hasn't really shown the talent. Like, he's been running a lot worse than Cody Ware in his few starts this year. And Smithley, there were rumors of him going to the 38 at front row. I thought he was the leading candidate for the 38, but I guess that he just, but I guess that Todd just, brought more money to the table. But yeah, Garrett Smithley, I just think that he's just got to improve on the track, and if he can continue to do that, like have like and maybe outrun Cody Ware, I could see him maybe getting a better opportunity, but at the same time, I just can't really see it. I just don't know if I can see it. Kaz Grala, A tier. Kaz Grala, one of the most deserving guys of a top ride. Like Grala has just been kept into not really getting rides. Like Grala's surprise performance at the Daytona road course race in 2020 really won me over for him. And when he got a top 10 in his debut, replacing Austin Dillon. Then he raced into the Daytona 500 in 2020, and he did it again this year in a last lap pass. Like I was so glad to see Grala and the money team make the 500, but so sad for Carl Long and MBM to miss. But Grala's just a really nice guy. I actually got to have a conversation with him in the grandstands at Dover once after he actually came up to the grandstands after he got involved in an accident in the Xfinity race and came up just to chat with people, like, just because I guess he had the time to. Like, Grala, just very dedicated on track. I hope that the money team and he can go full-time in Cup next year. I mean, I know that charters and all are a thing, but I think Floyd Mayweather would have the money to run a full-time Cup car without a charter. But we'll see what happens. Like, Grala just also has to bring the money too. And last but not least, Jacques Villeneux. The 1997 Formula One world champion, ran at the Daytona 500. I think he may be running Talladega as well in April, but I'm not quite sure. Jacques Villeneux, it was really nice to see him come back and race into the 500. It's a shame that Hesselberg had some issues and had some issues in the 500, and I don't know if Villeneuve will be running any more Cup races, but I hope he does, because I'm pretty sure that Hesselberg is probably going to be putting most of their money into Lars Hesmans, who's going to be making his Cup debut at COTA. But Villeneuve, just very exciting to see him back. Alright, so that's the end of the tier list here. These are the results of my tier list that I made. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I mean, comment below what you guys would do with your tier list. Did you like this tier list? Did you not like it? Make sure that you guys subscribe to my channel as well. Hit that like button. Hit the notification bell. Share my channel and continue to support me in any way you can. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.